Welcome back, guys. Thank you for showing up again. I appreciate it. And yourself should too. Appreciate you taking the time to watch something such as this to gain knowledge and improve your life. Anyway, like this shirt? I think it's pretty cool, huh? Jon Jones, UFC fighter. I'm sure you know of him. One of the greatest fighters. One of the wisest too. He knows quite a bit about psychology, if you were to look into it. Which is probably one of the reasons why he's such a great fighter. You know, all the best fighters were really big in psychology. Mike Tyson, his coach had him study warriors throughout history relentlessly to learn from them, to understand the inner workings of a warrior's mind, the mind of someone who's the greatest. Yet, that's not the purpose of this video. That's not what we're to discuss. Why am I such a good teacher? I have just recently started making these videos. This is the fifth one or sixth one I'm recording. And as you can tell, or might assume, it seems like I've been doing this for a while, hasn't it? I'm able to speak so cohesively to the camera, so clearly. One of the reasons is that my mind is clear. You know, I'm locked into the present moment in which all my energy is being devoted to this. But also, more importantly, is that I've spent many years of my life being a teacher. You know, like I said early on, I picked up self-improvement, and I'm grateful I did. And through that journey, I learned a lot that everyone else around me didn't know. And those I truly cared about, I wanted to share the insight and knowledge with. And one of these people is my cousin. He's had a very, very rough life. And I don't care to go into the details, because I don't think that's fair to him or respectful. But he's someone I've essentially taken under my wing. One night, many years ago, I said, "Hey, you wanna come over for a lift?" He did. And you know, that was found out later, a very, very bad night for him, in which I asked him to come over. But we had a great lift. And you know, I taught him about what I was doing in my lift, giving him tips and this and that. That was my first time ever trying to teach someone. And when it's your first time doing anything, you're a complete novice and you're not the best at it. But when you keep doing it over and over again, you grow and you get better until the point where you're able to teach like this. You know, every day for so long. For quite a while, he'd show up to my house to lift. And he still does. He still lifts at my house even to this day. And we still see each other. We still lift together occasionally. We still have great conversations, and I still share with him all my insights. But over this 3 or so year period, I've essentially just been teaching him everything I know to try to improve him. And there's been many other people too, after him, that I started to teach as well. And now, my skill set is this developed. It just goes to show just how impactful and beneficial helping others is. It's never obvious, especially when you're so focused on yourself. But if you so much so as decided to help other people and try to teach them what you know, not only are you helping them drastically, but you're helping yourself. And if you do enough of that, perhaps one day you'll be able to sit down in front of a camera and talk like I do, and teach like I do, and help others the way I do. But not unless you put in the work now. Not unless you start teaching. Not unless you take the opportunity to. Especially those around you, your closest friends. Those are who you start with, you know. Just one piece of advice though, for helping someone, getting someone on the right track. I learned this specifically from How to Win Friends and Influence People. Fantastic book that I recommend, obviously, that everyone recommends. Quite honestly. The piece of advice is as follows. You know, be extremely forgiving of their faults and extremely praising of their victories. So for example, if you have a friend, you're trying to get him to not use his phone as much, or let's say to read. And you go, it's not easy to start reading. And you try to get people to start reading, it's gonna be hard as shit. They won't want it. But given that, you'll likely find that you'll tell them to read, they'll be like, okay, yeah, that sounded a good idea, I'll read. And then they don't. But when you see them next and when you talk to them, don't be like, dude, why didn't you read, bro? It's so good for you, I told you to be. Instead, say, hey, don't even worry about it, bro, it's all good. You know, you just try today, try tomorrow. You don't gotta do it right now as long as you don't give up, right? It's all good, bro. Don't worry about it. If you bring that sort of attitude towards everyone's faults that you're trying to help, they won't associate any negativity with this process of trying to grow and their own failures. You know, you can imagine just if someone said they were gonna read because you told them to and they didn't, well, they probably beat themselves up enough. They're probably like, oh, I told him he was gonna read and now I gotta tell him that I didn't and he's gonna be so upset with me. They're already upset with themselves. So if instead you met them with, hey, don't even worry about it, brother. You're all good. It's a journey, it's a process, right? If that's what they were met with, they'd be like, oh, okay. I had no need to worry. It's all good. He's right. I'll try again today or tomorrow, right? And on the opposite end of that, now these are the exact words from the book. Be hearty in praise and approbation, and lavish in approbation. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that last word right, but it's whatever. What this means is, when they do something good, celebrate it like they won $1 million fucking bucks. You know, they say, dude, you know, I actually opened the book and I picked it up, I read a few pages. Be like, really, bro? Good shit, brother. You know, I knew you could do it, and now you've done it once, so the next time's only easier. Just bring that excitement in your reaction. And let them know they did a good job. Because then what that does on the opposite spectrum is, when they do that good work, it's reinforced by such a positive reaction from you that they only want to do it more. You know, recently I've gotten my one cousin, the same one I got lifting, into reading this past like week or so. And there's a book I gave him years ago. He never read. But I didn't beat him up over it. I let him hold on to it. And recently, I've gotten it across to him that he should read. And so he's like, okay, I'll read. 2 days pass, I see him, and I go, hey, you read the book? It's like, dude, I didn't even open it. I'm like, it's all good, brother. You know, no worries. I said some other stuff, and eventually got him to be like, yeah, okay, I want to read when I get home again. And so that was that. The next time I see him, I asked if he read, and 100%, I'm expecting him to say no, just to be completely honest. And he goes, bro, I read 28 pages. And I was like, holy shit, brother. Wow. I was impressed. I was. You know, I told him only read like 2. Only read 3 to start. He read 28. I was proud of him. He was proud of himself. And now I'm sure he's only gonna want to read now. Even more so than he did. But teach those around you what you learned from me. Bring those around you along for this journey. Teach them, so that way you become capable of teaching. It's an invaluable skill. It'll be well worth it. You know, I need to figure out a damn mantra I could say at the end of the video every time to sign off. Some little quote, you know. I'll think of one. But anyway, subscribe, turn on your notifications, comment, ask any questions you have. I'd love to help you. And also share this with your friends that need it and your family. Thank you for sticking to the end, my friend. See you later.